Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again with yet more deck techs from March of the Machine. So please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the dislike button if you must, but whichever button you hit, make sure you leave me a comment so I can respond to it and tell you what my thinking was if I haven't explained it well enough in this video. But please, 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 if you've not been here before, please hit that subscribe button. That'll really make my day. Right, so mono green. Mono green is always Stompy, and this card takes it really to the next level. Surrak and Goreclaw. 4 green for a 6/5 human bear with trample. Okay. Other creatures you control have trample. Yep, okay, like that. Like this bit even more. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It gains haste until the end of turn. Wow. A green creature that gives everything haste has got to be something fairly unusual in Magic, and I honestly can't remember, well, I can't think of another card where it's green and it gives haste. Yes, there's lots of red, there's some black, but I think this may be one of the first times it's happened in green. If it has happened before, let me know down below, because I couldn't find anything else. So, it's a Stompy deck. There's no other way of talking about it. And this is what it looks like. Just a load and loads of forests, a few other bits. Temple of the False God, Reliquary Tower, Yavimar, Cradle of Growth can come out and be another forest as far as I'm concerned if you don't want to spend the money on that, if you're building this in real life. Castle Brig is fairly important though, and Fable Passage just thins the deck out. I couldn't see the point of doing anything more fancy than this. There's no Command Tower, there's no need for it. Reliquary Tower is still useful, and Temple of the False God are obviously useful. But there's no real need to go anything further than that, from my point of view, for the land base. The mana side of it, Mox Tantalite, obviously. Jeweled Lotus is also here. Again, this is a card you can take out. You've got enough ramp in the deck that you don't need it. But I'll just put it in there just to try and speed up getting Surrak and Goreclaw out into play. Sol Ring, Moss Diamond, that's it. That's the end of the ramp for this deck. However, we do have other things that technically are ramp. So we've got Elvish Mystic, we've got Fire Nord Elves, we've got Landwire Elves, they're obviously ramp. Essence Wardens here just give us a bit of life. And Hardened Scales, because if we're going to be chucking +1/+1 counters around, there's no point not having this in the deck at this stage. Elixir of Immortality, because you will get Wrath. You can't really survive Wrath. I mean, we have got Heroic Intervention, but that's a one-shot. But, Elixir of Immortality, you can shuffle it all back in again and go again. And the Ozolith is here because the creatures are going to have lots of +1/+1 counters on them. So when they all do die, you might as well save those counters and put them on the next creature you control. Makes sense to me. Elvish Visionary draws us a card. Gala's Greeters gives us treasure or life or more +1/+1 counters. Heroic Intervention I've already mentioned. Incubation Druid is worth mentioning though in this deck. If you've got Surrak and Goreclaw out, Incubation Druid can immediately come into play as a 1/3 and tap for 3 mana. Bear it in mind. It only costs 2 mana. So you're actually gaining a mana when you play this if you've got Surrak and Goreclaw in play. So just think that through. Nature's Law, 3 visits, just to go and get some more forests, ramp it up a little bit. You can play Rampant Growth as well if you want to. And then Ozolith, the Shattered Spire. If one or more +1/+1 counters would be put on an artifact creature, and on an artifact or creature you control, put that many +1. Yeah, okay then. Let's make him even more powerful, Hello. Right. 3 drops, Beast Within, just so we can blow something up that's annoying us. The only real removal spell we have in the deck. Beastmaster's Ascension. We're going to have a lot of creatures attacking, so getting the 7 counters on here quickly is going to be fairly straightforward. Cultivate goes and finds us some more of those lovely forests. Dryad of the Elysian Grove is just here so we can play the extra forests if we need to. Fight Rigging, more +1/+1 counteraction. Getting something that's 7 or more is going to be straightforward, and therefore you'll be able to cast whatever you've chucked underneath it for the hideaway value for free very quickly in the game, I think. Growing Rights is there just so we can turn it into the cheaper version of Gaze Cradle. Again, it's an expensive card nowadays. You can take it out and do something else. That's fine, no issue. Cami of the Whispering Hope. Yep, another way of making more +1/+1 counters. One thing I'll notice, this you know, if you've got Goreclaw, Surrak and Goreclaw in play, when this hits, it comes in as a 2/2 that you can tap for 2 mana instantly. Obviously, if you've got something like Ozolith or Hardened Scales into play, you're going to be mana neutral on it, so it's basically a free drop. And if you've got more than, if you can get its power up of greater than 4 when it comes into play, you're going to be ahead again, so bear it in mind. Mara in the Nurturer. We've got quite a lot of elves in the deck. We get to tap it as soon as it comes into play at 2 mana for 2, and then it just keeps getting better. And Nissa, Vastwood Seer. Go to get another one of those lovely forests into our hand. And then if we've got 7 or more lands, we get to transform it into the Sage Animist, which I'm happy with as well, I have to say. Nissa's Pilgrimage comes in, more forests. Courser of Crowfix, just another way of playing an extra, playing lands from top of our library if we need to and gain a bit of life. Elvish Archdruid comes in as a 3/3 that you can tap for at least 1 mana if you haven't got any more elves in play. Probably more than that though. Circle of Dreams Druid, another creature that comes into play and will probably tap for more creatures, more mana than it has creatures in play if Surrak's around. And Tribute to the World Tree. All of the creatures that we've talked about so far have not got power greater than 3, unless you've had to get, you know, Archdruid in play, in which case they would do. But, you know, they come in with +1/+1 counters on them, even more +1/+1 counters, and it really does stack nicely with all our little bits of +1/+1ing. And then when we get the big things coming into play, we get to draw a card, so let's not complain. It's a green beatdown deck. What did you expect? Something funky? The original Goreclaws here. Creature spells with power 4 more, cost 2 less to cast. We've got a few of them coming up. And when it attacks, each creature you control power 4 more gets +1/+1 against trample to the end of turn. Well, with this in play, they already have that. But yeah, backup plan. It's cost reduction. Guardian Project, draw the cards. Oracle of Muldai, extra land drops. Court of the Bounty gets to put your creatures or your lands into play, depending if you're the monarch or not. Notice you can put them into play, and it says it doesn't say cast on Goreclaw, so they will get the +1/+1 counter and haste if you put them in off the bounty. Guruk, Wild Speakers here, just to make sure we can have some lands basically, and then eventually do the -4, give everything +3/+3 and trample. Obstinate Baloth, a little bit of life gain, and you know, Liliana the Veil seeing a little bit of a resurgence in Commander at the moment, so something good to discard if you ask to do that. Ravenous Baloth, just so we can sack any of other beasts off and gain some more life if we need to. Rumbling Baloth, the same reason it's here. They're all in, just for this bit, yeah. And the original Surrak, the Hunt Callers here as well. Give something haste if we can't do it any other way. Overwild Oddity, we want to transform as soon as possible. 8/8 with trample and haste, and everything else gets +1/+1. Yes, please. Thank you very much. And Fangreen Firstborn, when it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each attacking creature. Hello. Combo-lific with this and with this and with this. Do you know what? It's just green beatdown deck. You haven't really got to think about this. Thragtus, life gain, beast when it dies. Arborback Stomper, life gain when it comes into play. Defiler of Vigor, pay the 2 life, get a +1/+1 on every creature going along. Greensleeves does the same thing. Landfall, you get a 3/3 Badger creature token. Yep, okay. Ridgescale Tusker enters the battlefield, you get chucks a load of +1/+1 counters on every other creature you control. Shamanic Revelation probably means you can draw a whole load of cards and have a whole load of life gain. You know, that is one argument for having the Reliquary Tower here. That's why it's in the deck, just so we're clear. Verdurous Gearhulk comes in, chucks a load of +1/+1 counters around, and then Vorinclex. The new version of Vorinclex is here. Enter the battlefield, get a couple of forests, transform it, mill, put creatures, 7 +1/+1 counters, then do all the fighty stuff. Yes, please. Thank you very much. We'll clear the board with that. The Caretaker's here. Yeah, daybound, nightbound, whatever, but it still gets +2. You get to put +2 +1/+1 counters on another target creature. And then if you can get it flipped into night at the beginning of combat on your turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. Yeah, okay, I've got no, I can't see any negative on this, to be honest. Carvinus Moss Beast is just another way of gaining some life, and we can put some +1/+1 counters on it if we need to. Rampaging Baloths. It creates beasts, so the worst it'll do, you can sack them off to your Ravenous one, but, landfall, we'll get there. The other version of Vorinclex doubles up the counters. Yep, lots of extra +1/+1 counters. Terra Stomper, can't be countered. 8/8 trample for 6 mana, thank you, yes. Possibly a 9/9 with haste and trample that can't be countered, even better. Zophrandrel, Hunger Dominus is also here because we're going to make big creatures. We might make them even bigger in our combat step. Yes, sacking 2 creatures can be a bit of a pain, but yeah, Elixir of Immortality is here for a reason. And Tyrannix Rex, Trample Ward for haste and Toxic for... Yeah, okay then. And then Nissa, Ascendant Animist. Might as well have this in coming as well. If we can get this in at 7 mana, we can literally go, we win the game now, because we'll have 7 forests in play probably. Everything gets +7/+7 and trample to the end of turn. You win on that step. Camel, Heart of Crozer, is one from the original Commander Legends set. Again, I don't think it sees much play as it should do. A bit like one of the cards I talked about in the Gear and Errant deck the other day. I don't think this one sees enough play as a standalone commander, so this may be something I come back to as well. But, beginning of combat on your turn, creatures you control get +3/+3 and gain trample. Yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. It's good to me. Then, obviously, we've got to have Craterhoof. If we're going to win, let's win big and do the Craterhoof trick. Leading up at the end, the Great Henge is here, just so we can do the whole gain a couple of life, extra mana, more +1/+1 counters and card draw. Apex Devastator, Cascade, 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 Cascade. Yep, another big creature. It's even better when it comes in with Trample and Haste. It's going to give people a nightmare. And then the last 2 cards, Green Sun's Twilight. Reveal the top X cards of your library. Choose a creature card and or a land card from among them. Put those cards into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library. Or if you've done X or 5 or more, put the chosen cards on the battlefield or into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library. So basically you're going to get 2 big creatures if you do it early, or if you do it, if you do it late. But if you do it early, you're probably going to go get some more lands. It's all good. And Genesis Wave. Thank you. Like Genesis Wave. Again, everything will benefit coming in. As long as you've got this in play, Genesis Wave will make sure that all those creatures get the +1/+1 and haste. Because it says, enters the battlefield, not played, from your hand. And that's it. This is probably one of the shorter deck techs I've done for a March of the Machines commander. But it's a green beatdown deck. It's Stompy. What more do you want? This card is going to see a lot of play going forward. I can see it turning up in several other decks because getting haste on green creatures is key. And this card does it for you just by being in play. So, that's it. Let me know what you think I've missed out of Surrak and Goreclaw. Leave me a comment. Hope you really hope you've hit the subscribe button so you'll come back and see my next video. But that's it for now. And come and see me on Twitch where you'll see me play this deck out. Link down below to my Twitch stream. Come and see me there. And yeah, hopefully I'll either meet you on Twitch or you'll leave me a comment and you'll come back and watch my next video. So thanks for watching this one today and I'll see you soon. Bye.